Hi, everyone. This is going to be very short, but yesterday or 2 days ago during my live Q&A on my other channel, people were bringing up the fact that Etsy is opening up Etsy payments to China. And apparently, I did not know this because I don't usually watch Etsy videos on YouTube, but I did a search for Etsy in China, and all these videos came up with flames and the Chinese flag and, the end is near kind of stuff. That's a lot of fear mongering, and y'all need to calm down. Okay, look, what's going on is Etsy onboards different countries all the time to use Etsy payments. And I think it was like in 2020, 2021, somewhere around in there, they started requiring that shops use Etsy payments when you open up. Like you can't open a new shop unless your country supports Etsy payments. And there's different regulatory laws about money being processed, and I don't know what the specifics are about that. But at one point, Chinese sellers who are actual craftsmen, there are people who live in China who actually make their own products. It's a thing. And I actually remember that there was someone in my group who was in China, and she sold vintage Japanese kimonos, and she had a small business selling this. And I don't know if she's still on Etsy or if she had to stop selling on Etsy because Etsy all of a sudden didn't support Etsy payments from Chinese sellers. So there used to be shops from China on Etsy, just like every other country that can accept Etsy payments. All right. And China is not the only country that Etsy has added in this round. They do this occasionally. They'll go through and they'll add more countries in that can open Etsy shops because it's all based on the payment processing and what's available. Okay, so that's all that's going on. They're adding Chinese shops back in. And let me ask you something. I went to the Wayback Machine, and it said in 2020, of December of 2020, China was not on the list of accepted countries that could open shops to take Etsy payments. And I'm not sure when they actually started forcing people to accept Etsy payments. So I'm not sure the timeline of this exactly. But up until about then, people, like I said, in China could open shops, and then they couldn't. And let me ask you, do you think between then and now, the resellers on Etsy have gotten better or worse? Okay, because if Chinese sellers were not allowed to open shops on Etsy and the resellers have gotten worse, which I think they have, then it's not those people who were causing the problem. All right. It's very possible that you're going to have more resellers on Etsy, but they're here already. This is not going to cause, Etsy to, I don't know what hysteria is, except that I understand that I'm no fan of Temu. I'm no fan of Shein. I'm no fan of Chinese lack of labor laws. We'll just leave it at that. But this is not what people are characterizing it as, just based on the thumbnails that I'm seeing on YouTube. So calm down. It's not such a big deal, and that's all. I mean, I don't understand it. If you have a different perspective, and I have not watched any of those videos because I don't have time. I don't have time for fear mongering. I'm not interested. If you have a different perspective and you think this is going to ruin your life because some craftsman in China can now sell on Etsy, leave me a comment and explain why. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see it being as big a deal as people are making it out to be for views on YouTube. That's all. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. So give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't care if you don't like it. Leave me a comment explaining your point, and I'll read it. I'm interested in seeing what the big deal is because I don't see this as a big deal. That's all. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.